this sound coming up from my diaphragm is broken at a certain point in the vocal system, right? K, g, j, t, t. The cerebrals, the palatals, the dentals, the sibilants, right? And then they have the semivowels, yeah. So that's there too. But we in English just have 21 consonants, 5 vowels, and I put the heart there because vowel is synonymous with syllable. If you have a syllable like today, 2 syllables, you have oo and a. T, oo, d, a. But you have to have that vowel sound. You understand? Or you don't have another syllable. Syllable means there's a vowel sound in there. Everybody understand that? And the children, when they say today, they go today. Every word is broken up into its sounds with their body. That's why they learn to break up big words. If we take the word like phonogram, they see how a word is broken up into syllables, and they know the sound combinations. Okay? If I say transmigration, that's a big word. How many syllables? 4. Can you do it with me? Transmigration. And then they will learn the phonograms that are in there. Like sh, the tall one. It's not TI. Okay? So now we know a little bit of something. Now we're going to learn a little bit more about these phonograms. You see there are 5 sky blue ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see that? In the phonogram system, we have 5 different ways to spell one sound. And that sound is Can you all say There are 5 ways to spell Now we use a little sentence. So we're going to do our memory sentence. You see the 5 here, and you see them here. Here you have your 3 rows of your consonants. You have 5 vowels. And then from here to here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 phonograms that are 5 ways to spell the same sound. So we have a special sentence. Are we ready? And you have to do this with me. As in her. So please say as in her. You're pointing to some lady. As in her. And that's the most frequent. That phonogram, if you have on your little book, is the combination of these 2 letters. And it's underlined to show that they're read together. This is the phonogram as in her. This is the most frequent. When you get many phonograms making one sound, she presents them according to the frequency in which they are used. So that means the first one is, you'll see this the most, and the last one, you'll seldom see it. Okay? So frequency, it's not random. As in her. Your next one, underline it. As in first. Now in India, they'll say first. But the proper pronunciation is first. As in first. But you'll see in India, they'll say first.
They skip the R.
I don't know what they do, but it's not what we, at least not, it's not the American pronunciation. As in first. She gives UK pronunciations and Australian also in her revised books. Because the British and the Australians will have slightly different. But the origin is an American system. But now it's an American system, but now it's gone worldwide. So she has adapted it. She has it in her pronunciation guides, how to adjust to British or Australian. But this is the American pronunciation. If I see this, I'll say first. Okay? As in her, everybody? As in first. The third frequent spelling you'll see this next. Not as often, but you'll see this a lot.
Bird.
This is as in nurse.
Nurse.
As in nurse. What is it? As in, I have to see the nurse. I have a headache. So let's revise. As in her. As in first. And as in nurse.
As in nurse.
Now we have another phonogram in which we have a W at the beginning, but we don't sound it. Believe it or not, this is an That's why I'm telling you, English is strange. As in worship. And you have to underline all three. As in worship.
But if it's as in worship, then it should be worshipped. Worship.
No. Otherwise you would say war. Okay. It's unusual, isn't it? Work, worship, worth. How much is this worth?
Yeah, but the work comes.
The what is there.
Yeah, the what is there, but it's the sound is, you have to put it, in other words, I'm not saying this is W. It is sounded. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say it's not sounded. But when you see it, you're focusing on this as being an sound. That's I should clarify this.
These are two different alphabets, like what and the
This is the fourth as in worship. When there's a WOR, that all three are underlined as one phonogram. But we don't say war. We just say That's my point. As in worship. Okay? But you have to underline the three. It's not W and or. When you get a W, this becomes Okay? So the first one is as in her, as in first, as in nurse. Fourth one, as in worship. Work, worth. How much is this worth to you? You don't find it as much, but it's there. And the last one is confusing. It looks like ear. Doesn't it? But if it's underlined, all three, it's the phonogram, as in early.
Oh God.
That's the fifth Yes, you can see how this takes a lot of the mystery out of spelling for children.
Early.
As in early.
But how do we understand what do we use where?
Because it's underlined.
Can't we say yearly? Early.
It's early.
I mean, we obviously say it's early, but why not yearly?
Because it's not. Why is Krishna blue? Because he's blue. Oh, she's got a little curl on her E. A. Uh-oh. We got to get those little umbrella handles out of there. Ladies like to make things fancy. It's like icing on the cake. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. As in early. Let's revise our 5 now. Look how far we are on the list. Guess what, folks? We're almost halfway through. Okay?
We did H.
We're almost halfway through. Now we have some other sounds to pick up in here. I'm trying to show you how you task analyze to knock off a lot of big problems. Okay?
As in per.
Okay? As in her. As in first. As in nurse. As in worship. As in early. Her first nurse worships early.
Her first nurse
Worships early. She gets up early before she goes to work. The first nurse in the hospital is a devotee.
Yes, her first nurse worships early.
And she goes to Mangalarti before she goes. Nartam was saying his wife is head of a hospital. And, she's a devotee.
Oh my God, this is a sentence. Her first nurse worships early.
Yeah, she gets up and in the video you'll see I've taken a picture and I've focused on different parts of a picture to show her first nurse worships early. Okay? So we know that strange one. All right, now let's look at this little chart and we will see some stars. Do you see the stars? The yellow ones here? You don't have your charts yet. There are 4 yellow stars. 1 here and 1 there. 3 there. Those 4 all say shh. Shh. Because stars will shine. Now without you don't have these. We don't have them photocopied yet. We're trying to get more copies. Until the color comes out right, I won't buy them. So these stars help the child reduce the job. There are differences in which they are used.
Which one?
I won't say them now, but we'll just try to analyze. Now look at your chart. Do you see 2 orange ones? You don't have that here. Do you see 2 orange ones? Here and here. 2 green ones? 2 blue ones? 2 red ones? These are, I call them the twins. They make the same sound. The first one is used at the end of a spelling word. The second one is used inside. They make the same sound, but they're written differently. And the rule is that if you have an ending sound for a vowel, usually you have to add a Y or W at the end of a word. In English, they do that. So if I say the word say, it's S-A-Y. If I said said, it's S-A-I-D. If I say please pay the bill, it's P-A-Y. If I say I paid the bill, it becomes P-A-I-D. Do you understand? There's an internal spelling and there's an ending spelling. Traditionally, Y and W are put on vowel sounds at the end of words. So when a child says this, it's a mouthful. He'll say A. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows over, the last one. He'll have to say this. A. The 2-letter A that we can use at the end of an English word. Now that's a mouthful. But he understands that this is the way I spell an A sound at the end of a word. Like day. So it's 2 phonograms. It's D, A, the 2-letter A that we can use at the end of an English word. Up here, I say A, the 2-letter A that we cannot use at the end of an English word. So we have 4 sets like that. And they're shown in color here. A, oi, oi, ah, uyu, uyu. A, oi, oi, ah, uyu, uyu.
Last one, what is it?
Uyu, uyu. If you notice, the first one has a W or a Y, and the other one does not. The one that is ending, the child knows. If I see a W or a Y, that's what I use at the end of a word, if I have to use the same sound inside, it's the other spelling. It's the other phonogram. The best examples would be pay. Please pay the rickshawala. I paid him. P-A-Y becomes P-A-I. D. And instead of saying P-A-I-D, we say P. A, the two-letter A, we cannot use at the end of an English word, D. So the child scientifically knows why that word, he just doesn't have to memorize. He scientifically knows why it's spelled that way. And he has to say that when he's reciting. It's a very deep system. All right, let's see where we have some other matches. We saw the S's, S-H, okay? We see a pencil here and a book here. You don't have those. R at the bottom of your list here. We roll it. And over here we see WR. This is the two-letter R. This is R, and this is R, the two-letter R. You'll find many combinations that are two letters, right? Remember we had and then we had the two-letter okay? The two-letter R. Let's take a look at K. Here's the one over here. K. The two-letter K. Now this you'll usually find at the end of a word. You don't find a K like this at the beginning. K.
Any word with secret? Any word with secret?
I still didn't hear the last part? Okay, this is K. I'm sorry, K. And this is K. The two-letter K.
Manaji, I didn't get it.
You don't put a line under this, I'm sorry. If I write the word kick, this is the sound for beginning it, and this is the two-letter K for ending it. This is the way we end a K sound. Okay?
It's G or it's K
K. K.
with the H sound.
No.
Little bit of H.
No.
Or
Just
it's
K. Just K. Kick.
kick.
Okay? So you find many two-letter, all right?
Kick
K.
and stick.
K. Two-letter K. And you saw the... I'll have to make sure Manaji doesn't have trouble with this. Sorry, we've got a cord here, Manaji. Forgive us. Yeah, sorry. Okay. This is... right? And this is what? Same sound, but two-letter F. Okay, you see? Can you all write this? You should be writing all these. Okay, you follow with me? You write this? And this is just F. No underline. This is F, the two-letter F. Okay, so much. This one, let's get another one that's like this. Two-letter one. Oh yes, here we go. This is this one is also here, and you underline it. So this is and this is the two-letter Can you see how this starts to take the mystery out of pronunciation and spelling? Let's try the phonogram J. It's the first line, bottom letter. J. Now go to the opposite of your chart, up here. This is the three-letter J. Three-letter J. J. I don't have so much room for it. Like judge. We should not judge one another. J. J.
These are one of those twins, right?
They would be not twins. Twins means there's just a slight change in spelling for use. But this is just J, and this is the three-letter J. And this you'll find at the end of the word, and this one you'll find at the beginning. You won't find just like this at the end of a word. You'll find this. Can you see how that helps spelling quite a bit? You had ka, the two-letter ka, ja, the three-letter ja, the two-letter r, the two-letter r. Are you okay? Getting a little dizzy? Oh, I hope this is too much for you. So austere. But you understand a little bit now? Let's get some more. We've seen the 5 ers. We're seeing the 1 and 2-letter verses, or 3. Let's try another one. Oh, here we go. If you go into your second to last column, 2 down, okay, you will see this, and you underline it. This is I, the 3-letter I, as in high. We climbed a high hill. I, the 3-letter I. This helps children so much in reading, because it looks like ig. Ig.
I.
But it's I, the 3-letter I.
Why is the first and the last one?
This, you'll see this GH is silent also in A, the 4-letter A. Let's do that one. This looks like the letters E, I, G, H. You underline all 4. And what do you have? A, the 4-letter A. So if I write the number 8, I would say A, the 4-letter A, T. A, the 4-letter A, T. I would have only 2 phonograms. I'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters, but I would only have how many phonograms? See, so the phonograms chunk up the letter, they chunk up the word, and they give the correct sound. But if you just read the letters, E, I, G, H, T, what do you get? What would you get?
A.
E, I, good. You wouldn't get that. But if he knows this is underlined, this is A, the 4-letter A, T, he can read that word. Okay? It's the same way with I, the 3-letter I. If I say hi, it's H, I, the 3-letter I. Okay, you follow so far? Can you see how this would help a child? Amazingly. Here's another one.
Have you done this, Mataji? E, I, and I, E? No.
Not yet. Those are the hardest ones.
Oh, okay.
Let us try these 2. Here's a sound, phonogram. All right. Now let's go to the second to the last column, and we will see these 2 combinations. We will see this, and we will see this. They also say, You see, English is a very strange language.
I know that by now.
Right.
You know that by now. K, N, and G, N.
So this one is the 2-letter the tall one, because this is a tall letter. This is the 2-letter the short one. Example, knowledge. Not. We have a knot in the string. K-N. Do you hear the K? The Knights of England. K-N-I-G-H-T. There's a big one. The 2-letter the tall one. I, the 3-letter I, T. Totally different way to spell it, but you can see how quickly a child with phonograms would understand. Then there's N-I-G-H-T. N-I-G-H-T. I, the 3-letter I, T. Fight. I, the three-letter I, T.
Mataji, I don't get this.
N, the two-letter N, as in knowledge,
Knowledge.
or knot. Do you have a knot on your ribbon or string? The two-letter N, very rare. Very rare. There are these little things in Ireland called gnomes. They're little elves. Gnomes. You don't hear the G. They're little bugs that fly around the fruit. They're called gnats. It's spelled G-N-A-T-S. This is a very rare use.
Any other example for GN?
I think the word Gnostic, an agnostic, Gnostic to some degree. It's very rare. Sign. If I have a sign, it's S-I and G-N, sign. Okay. Is this sort of opening up a little bit of understanding of the phonograms? You can see how, and it's presented very systematically in the spelling list. And if they're combinations and they're fixed, they're always underlined. And they're numbered if they are in a sequence. Okay, let's see if we have some more that are comparative ones. Well, let's do the sh. This is the first one. If you'll see the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th column, sh. We underline this and we go like this. Shh.
Night.
This is sh, the plain one. This can be used only at the beginning and end of a word. Like shine or dish. Okay? It's a beginning, sh, or it's an end. In the last column, you will see 3 phonograms, T-I, S-I, C-I. Those also say shh, but they are used in the middle of a word to change a word from one part of speech to another. Let's take an example. You are here because you want to educate children. Educate. If I say, this little boy deserves a good education, what happened to that T? With an I, it became shh. So this is called shh, the tall one.
And
Because
the
T
essence
is tall. Don't jump ahead. We have to go one at a time for everybody. So did you see what happened to educate? You take a word like nation. N-A-T-I. It changes, it will often change from one word to another. Frustrate. We do not want to frustrate the children. Frustration is an impediment to learning. Frustrate becomes frustrate. Sh. So that is sh, the 2-letter sh, the tall one. We're not going systematic. I'm trying to jump around to show you where you find these connections in this colored chart. Because once you see this colored chart and you see the patterns, then it breaks this whole thing down from 70 into practically half. Less than half. You see the point? Now you'll have trouble with some that make like A. You'll have so many phonograms that will say A. A, the 2-letter A, you can use at the end of an English word. A, the 2-letter A, you cannot use at the end of an English word. E, the 4-letter A, E, I. I mean, there must be 6 or 7 ways to say A. That's for a little bit later. But at least for now, let's see how we can reduce the size of these 70 blocks. Where you can see, I can knock off the consonants, I can section off the vowels, I know the 5 Rs, I know the twins, I know the 4 S's, shh, okay? Let's take the next one. We see SI together. This makes 2 sounds because just S will make two sounds. S will either say S. It can also say Z. Let's use an example. This is called a homogram. Homogram. Two words, a word is spelled the same, but it's pronounced differently. I am standing close to the door. The S sounds like S. I am close to the door. If I close the door, what happens to that S? It becomes a Z. Does the spelling change? So the child, when he writes close, he won't put a 1 over the S. But if it's close, what will he put over the S? A 2. Because it's its second sound. It sounds a little complicated, but after a while, you know it takes two sounds, you start marking these, and the child knows, oh, this is close, this is close. If it's close, I put a 2 over the S, because it has to say Z. Now, the same thing happens with this. This is either sh or zh. It can either say, I'm trying to think of an SI sound.
Invasion?
The zh sound would be like television. Zhen. SI will be zhen, television. I'm trying to think of an SI sound. Can you think of
Sip. Sip.
No, it would be making a sh sound.
Invasion?
Huh?
Invasion?
No, it's making a z sound.
Vision.
Vision.
Vision, no, it's still making a z.
What
I'm
sound do you
looking for
want?
S, the S sound.
Situation?
Situation. Si.
Situation, that's
S-I-T-U-A.
I'm trying to think. Oh, session. This is a learning session. There we go. It makes an SH sound. Session.
Session.
Okay? Session, SH. Television, ZH sound. Okay? And the last one is CI, because C will also make an S sound before E, I, or Y. This would be facial. Face becomes facial. These are used when the word's changing from one part of speech to another, usually. Facial. Okay?
So it's S-I, not S. S is different and S-I is different.
Yes. Your first one was sh, the tall one, T-I. Second one was sh, S-I. And the third one was C-I, sh, the short one. Let's just run through our chart now together. We've blocked off a lot. There are more things to do, but I just want to give you a walkthrough. So open your book up to the middle, and we'll just run through these. And we're just going to go down a column. I have, if I didn't put it on your hard drive, bring your hard drive tomorrow. I have a 16-minute video in which I pronounce the sounds. They're big on the screen. There's a picture of Krishna and time to repeat. So a child, he plays it every day, right? He watches it, he plays it 4 times a day. A child just sees that and you just drill it in. They get to the point where when we were drilling the 3-year-old, she could do all these phonograms in about 1.5 minutes. Like that. The point is automaticity. Fast, fast, fast. And don't put a word example in unless you need it for distinction of the phonogram. Okay, so say these with me now. You take your little book and you start with the first phonogram at the top. We are doing the first row of consonants together. Please say it. B. Just B. No 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 I, just B. Because the vowel that's next may be E, may be U, maybe I, maybe. And then the child is adding another sound. He has to eliminate any vowel sound. He just says B. Because it may be bug, it may be big, it may be bottle, it may be bat. If he says then it's not. You see, you have to just say the consonant. So let's say b. Next one, 2 sounds. K, s. We'll just run through the chart. Don't ask questions, we're just going to go through. Next, D. Next. Everyone can say, it's tiring, I know these chairs are not comfortable. Next one, two sounds, G, J. G, J. This is not 100% like cassette. Sometimes this doesn't work. Usually before E, I, or Y, G will say J. But we also have girl. We don't say gerl, but we will say gerbil.
Ginger.
And ginger, right. So usually before E, I, or Y, G will say J. But there are exceptions. Good job. Next one is and the last one is Ju. Let's go up to the next one. K. Ooh. Huh. Kwa. Just say them with me. Don't try to write anything yet. Grr. S. Z. T. Now we have to do something special. X, the fast one. You have to say the fast one. Because it sounds like kasa. But here we say x, like box. Fast one, he knows. Because you say it fast. 3 sounds for this. First is consonant, next two are vowels.
I.
He knows it. Yet it I. Huh? Zzz. Now he's going to come and run through and I'll show you. He's been only doing this a short time.
Yeah. It,
He's 4.5. Okay. What's the first one?
B, kasa, da, gaja, gaja, ha, ja, ka, pa, kwa, r, ta, what? The first one. Yeah, I.
I think you should applaud. That's fantastic. Isn't that wonderful? You can see he's 4.5, and he keeps practicing these, and then when he practices writing them, and then he starts the spelling system, which is mind-blowing. They start reading after about 200 spelling words, just reading. Because this they have taken in all the mysteries of English, all of the weird combinations. They have learned them, and they mark them, and they know why they are the way they are. Okay? So, did you think he did a good job on that?
great.
Okay, now let's say our vowels. We have 3 sounds for some and 2 for others. And I stress the second sound because that names the letter. Listen carefully. A, O. Say. Did you hear the second sound? It said A. That means it's this phonogram. Because we have many phonograms that will say A. At least 6 or 7. This is A, O. When I hear A, the child knows, oh, it's this one. Now you have 2 sounds. E. I stress the E. The second sound names the letter. The child will write this. If I say the phonogram E, he will write this. Now I will say I. The second name the letter. He will write. Did you hear what he said the next one? See? And now we see the next one. A, O, U. This one has 3 sounds. A, U, you, oh. Now you can see how strange this is because this would be,
What for you?
would be, as in up and as in put. It doesn't put, it's put. Strange. You, three sounds. You, Oh, see, like he's really going at it over there. Do you see he's 4.5? Are you convinced? How long has he been practicing this?
1 week.
1 week. Did you hear that? 1 week.
1.5
Maybe 2. Are you convinced?
What's for A?
All right, let's do our vowels again. I always make the children compare it to an animal sound, like a little donkey. A, okay? And next the mouse. E. And then the elephant. I. And the owl. And the bear. You. Okay. And then we know as in and as in first, and as in
Nurse.
and as in
Worship.
worships, and as in see, you know those already. Knocked off that. Now we're going to do sh, the plain one. SH. Can you say sh, the plain one? Sh, the plain one, because it's either before or end of a word. E double E. E double E. 2 sounds for this. Th. Like thin or this. The. If it's the second sound, the child underlines it and he puts a 2 over it. Because it means it's the second sound. You see how simple it becomes? If it's thin, he just underlines it. But if it's this, he underlines it and puts a 2 over it. Then it's it's.
If it's the second sound, he underlines it and puts the 2. If it's the second sound,
Yes, you put the 2 over it.
underlines and puts the 2.
Yes.
And if it's just the first, you just underline.
If it's always underlined if it's more than one letter. But if it's more than one sound, you have to put the number over the combination to show how many, which one. Like if it's 6 sounds, if it's the 6th one, you underline it and you put a 6.
And if it's the fourth, you put the 4.
If it's 4, you put a 4. That's easy. It looks complicated, but it's systematic. And because they practice it constantly before they do anything, they've learned it. And it opens up the door completely. Okay. A. The 2-letter A. Hold up your fingers. A. The 2-letter A. That we can use at the end of an English word. That we can use at the end of an English word. A. The 2-letter A. We cannot use at the end of an English word.
Sorry?
Can't use that AI at the end. It's used inside.
Paid.
Yes. The next one.
Oh.
Oh, we go to a doctor now. The first one makes 2 sounds. The next one makes 4. Are you ready? You have to go to the doctor.
Doctor.
Ow, oh. So pinch yourself and say ow. 2 sounds. The next one makes 4 sounds. Ow, oh, ooh, ah. Ready? Ow, oh, ooh, ah. You won't be able to do them all now. When you get the video, when you watch the slideshow, you'll see everything there. We'll take a moment to watch that. But we'll run you through this now. Okay, OY and OI. Oi, say, that you can use at the end of an English word. Like boy. The next one, oi, cannot use at the end of an English word. As in
Oil.
Now there are exceptions. Oyster, for instance, is OY.
And oi.
But in general, oi that you have to use like oi or toy, and oi as in oil, okay? Soil, toil. Ah, that you can use at the end of an English word.
Soft.
Ah,
Ah.
that you cannot use. Exactly, autumn, there's a good one. Or taught,
Taught.
right. Uyu, say uyu, that you can use at the end of an English word.
Yeah.
Uyu, you cannot use at the end of an English word. Like suit, fruit. Okay. Now we put glasses on for two O's.
Oh.
It sounds a lot like the two O. This one's, listen, the O comes at the end. Ooh, up, oh. Ooh, up, oh. The other one was ah, oh, ooh. These get pretty close. The child has to have a very sharp sense of discrimination because he's given a test regularly in which he hears the phonogram sound and he has to write it and mark it. He has to be able to write and correctly mark all 70 phonograms. That's pretty amazing. If I say ooh, oh, he'll write 2 circles. If I say ah, oh, ooh, he'll just write 1 circle. Okay? Next one. You won't believe this, but CH makes 3 sounds. And we use it like a train. You know how the old trains had pistons for the wheels? Ch, k, sh, ch, k, sh. You hear those trains when they hit the brakes? It's like a steam sound, right? So we go ch, k, sh, chicka-sh, chicka-sh, chicka-sh. So that's like the train. Chicka-sh. And ch as in church. Okay?
Church.
K as in architect.
Architect.
Sh as in chivalry. Actually, in India, they say schedule. We say schedule.
Yeah.
But in India, they say schedule.
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 Two people.
This is, next one, you need to get through, okay? No problem. Next one. A nice one. Ng. Like the shringity.
Oh my God.
Next one. E, 3 sounds. E, A. E, A. E, A. And each one, the first one says its name, the next one is short, and the last one says its name. E, then A. And the next one on that line is very easy. R. It's just the way it looks. R. Like in car, far, star. You know this one now. The 2-letter K. This is an ending for verbs. 3 sounds. Ed,
Ed.
D, T. Depending on the letter before it. Ed, D, T. It can be someone is learned, and another ed would be, trying to think what's it.
Beheaded.
If you say, okay, think of a verb now.
Dead.
Well, no, that's a different combination. Like play, played. Play. He played a game. Played.
What word do you want? Ed.
Ed, did, ta. Ed, d, ta. So the first one was learn, learned. The next one was play, played. Just say d. And if it says t, it would be stop, stopped.
Stopped.
Stopped. You can't say d, stop, d. Stopped.
And what about spent?
Which one?
Spent. Spent.
Spent.
Spent. That's a different spelling.
S-P-E-N-T.
It's a different spelling.
It's a
But
different-
we're saying
learned?
if you're having ED, you would get 3 sounds for that.
Learned?
Edita. Learn becomes learned. Or learned.
Learned.
Yeah.
L-E-A-R.
That's just
E-D or T.
ED. Okay? Edita. Next one is or. That's easy. We'll quickly finish this and we'll go watch the video. Hua. This is just like what, but the H is first. Hua. O as in boat. Now these 3 are the hardest. I'm just going to say them. A, E, I. E, A, I. E, I, I. I leave these for last. They're the hardest. I, the 3-letter I. A, the 4-letter A. N, the 2-letter N. The tall one. N, the 2-letter N, the short one. R, the 2-letter R. The 2-letter F. Ch, the 3-letter J. Bridge. O as in toe. G as in ghost. Sh, the tall one. Sh, Z. Sh, the short one. O, U. Off, off. Aw, ow. And that's it. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up. It's hot. Everybody's tired. Should we watch the quick little video and you can see all these now? Okay, and we'll just do that. And then I think what we can do tomorrow when we convene, if people can, on Nirjal Ekadasi, or I don't know what you want to try to do tomorrow. It's going to be a bit tough. But we can start to explain how to put these in a spelling. In which I've just taken all the titles and underneath it's 150 maxims. And the children would memorize them and write essays on them. What a nice way to write an essay. You know, I mean, whatever we pick. Self-help is the best help. So a perfect essay, and teach children how an essay was written on from this. Ability proves itself by deeds. I mean, the English is high. Old-fashioned. Not so that it's just Victorian, you know, it's just listen to these. Every one of them. Do not try to gain favor by acting in a way that is contrary to your own nature and character. Every one of these is an essay.
Very deep.
Very deep. Those who have plenty want more, and so lose all they have. It's not bad, huh? I just love this book. Look before you leap. Many of them are famous. Be sure of your pedigree before you boast of it. Just so cute. A fine coat is not always an indication of an attractive mind. Really, really nice version.
Is it possible to get this book in the market?
Well, I don't know. I mean, online one may, but I can try to get this photocopied. I used to give all my students photocopies of this. First, we did the little picture dictionary, and they could get up to many words a day, and then immediately into Aesop, and then immediately into Bhagavatam, because this is on the level of the language of the Bhagavatam.
Yeah, because okay.
Brilliant one. Good for any age, and good as a springboard for creative writing. It's wonderful. Huh? I just managed to dig this out.
Who is the author, Mataji? I'll just take it down.
Pictures are by Milo Winter. Well, Aesop, of course. Here's all that's shown in the cover. You can see. An Aesop for children with pictures by Milo Winter, and even the illustrations are old time. Everything now is computer art, but these are the old drawings. Checkerboard Press, and I don't have my glasses on, I think it's a 1918, originally put out in 1918.
1919.
1919, so it's really old-fashioned.
Yeah.
But if you even read McGuffey's Readers from America in the middle 1800s, the language is so elevated. It definitely technology has some ups and some downs, right? You see language deteriorate and seeing how many of these qualities. It's scientific, it's proven, it's research-based, it's helped millions of children, it's good for classroom, home, ESL, it improves test scores, standardized test scores, it improves behavior and significant performance in the classroom. Just those basic points. It has the two parts, the book isn't so difficult as it appears. Instructional materials as well as lesson procedures. And then the other day, we talked about the Scholin methods briefly, and we briefly spoke about the 9 points of good education, philosophical fundamental points. So I thought we should do a little bit on that also. But yesterday, since we ended on the phonograms, I thought what we'll do is we'll teach you how to teach this quickly. Okay. I don't know if any of you have your charts with you, or did I have some extra? I sent some samples in with Prabhu, and nothing has come back. You have yours? Do you have something, or at least the little booklet? Do you have your little booklet? Because I don't have enough booklets to give out again. Yeah, I don't want to give out more booklets because I have only a few. It's so have to depend on you people remembering your materials, because these are left from before, and it'll teach you how to be serious. Otherwise, it's too easy. Oh, Mataji will give me one. Okay. Did you mention to him that your schedule, so anything possible?
11 tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Just as long as we keep pushing. We at least emailed the other copies to Delhi, so.
Yeah, you said what should I was there till.
Yeah, so, yeah, no problem. Okay. Do you have your little pink booklet either? He doesn't have his booklet either. Okay, then you'll have to suffer today. All right, so let us now begin. She doesn't have a phonograms list. No.
Can we keep it back after using?
No. Okay. There we go. I'm sounding harsh, but I get people doing this to me all the time. Or she walked by, oh, can I, because they know I'm generous. Can I have that? I said, sorry, you're not. Anybody sees, this morning somebody saw those. Oh, can I have that? They don't even know what it is. Or one lady from Australia, Govinda Kun's daughter, Govinda Kun had given her a copy of a book, and her daughter talked her out of it. Do you have your charts? You don't have your big chart. Okay, ready? We'll wait till Prabhu's off the phone here. See, he's ingrained already.
He's so eager to say them out.
He's so eager to tell you.
Great.
They love it, huh? They're happy to learn. Now, the other day when we ended, we're ready to go now? Okay, the other day when we ended with the phonograms, Mataji asked, well, do we teach one a week? No. We teach 3-year-olds 7 a day. In 2 weeks, they know it. So the idea is accelerated. We don't get those results by just taking a slow boat to China. Okay. So our process is what we call the South Indian Brahmin skill. I call it the American yo-yo drill. Yo-yos are wooden toys that go up and down and up and down. Okay. So the first thing we do is we say the first one. B. Everyone can say B? All right, now we say the second one. K, S. Now, yo-yo, we have to now go back and say 2 correctly. B, K, S. Everybody know those? Now we say the third one. D. Now the thing is, if the child is able to say all 3, you may go to the 4th. If the child is not able to say all 3, you keep practicing until the child can. What's the point of going on? You just add to the confusion. So the thing is, the South Indian Brahmins teach shlokas like this. One word, one more. But Rasheshvar learned all of us from Bhaktivinoda Maharaj. He learned the Purusha Sukta, his slokas this way. So this is not an innovative idea. This is a deep-rooted Sanskrit tradition. Ba, kasa, d. I think we're ready for the next one. This row is easy. Ba, kas, d. This next one is two sounds. Remember kasa was two sounds?
Yeah.
This one is also two sounds. So in this first row, two have two sounds. The rest have only one sound. So it's a good way for children to start because they build up their confidence. Some of the rows are harder, but this is an easy starter. B, k, s, d, g, j, yo-yo. B, k, s, d, good job. J. Now we have covered all 7. Now if we do each row of 7 in a day, then in 10 days, the phonograms are done. Now she in her book will teach the writing as well, and that we also do, but I keep many burners going. I keep the phonograms going, I keep the practice going, I don't start the spelling list until this is mastered and the writing is mastered. And then we do other little things, days of the week, months of the year. But once they have mastered this, and they have mastered how to make each letter, we will do that also. Hare Krishna. Then they are ready for the spelling list. I do not start that one prematurely, because that will only increase the bad habits. Mastery of the phonograms, mastery of the writing, mastery of the sitting, pencil holding, paper holding. Okay?
This letter G and the letter D. What is the difference? For G, for the letter G,
It can say ja.
J.
It says good job.
And for the letter J, it is a J.
It also says ja. And then this will also say ja. So you have 3 things that say ja. So let us go through this one again. We were practicing the yo-yo drill, the first row. B, k, s, k. Is that, you have a color photocopy, right? Is that your own or was that us? Okay, she's fortunate. We're having a hard time getting good copies. You're
I took it in 2011.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting good copies. B, k, s, now we'll do the yo-yo again. B, k, s, d, b, k, s, d, b, k, s, d, good job. B, k, s, d, good job. Good job. H. B, k, s, d, good job. Good job. H. And that is how we also revise to do anything we do. Our study charts, our Bhagavatam, our Gita, right? We do one more. We have a problem with chords because she has to have a plug-in or she won't be able to record this. So you understand how to do a drill? Teach them 7 in one session. And that's within an hour plus many other activities. We allowed them to show their art from the day before. We did math, we did heard a story, we did many things. We did 10 spelling words in 1 hour. we learned how to compress and accelerate, but still no compromise on result. Too much time can be wasted dragging it out. Okay, so does everyone know the first row? Okay, turn and do it with your partner. All right, turn and do it with your study partner.
Yeah.
Okay, do your first row together. Okay, you can do it with them. You should point also.
Yes.
Use your index finger as your cursor. Okay. You know them? You know the first row, right?
to get the black pen? The black
You
pen.
need a black pen. I think I'm going to gift you with one. It's good to come with your own equipment if possible.
What's the difference between G's jump and J's jump?
Something comes.
I don't know which of the two is running down.
What's the difference between G's jump and J's jump?
No difference, they're just used in different cases. They both say jump. I'm not going to go into the rules at this point, we just want to get through these. So today we'll see, what we should do is set a timer. Do you have your clock, your phone with you? Let's see how fast we can learn these charts today.
Should I start it?
Go. All right, we did the first line. Remember these first 3 lines are the 21 consonants. Let's now go to the second one. K. Next one is ooh. Yo-yo drill. K. Ooh. Next one is K. Ooh. Next one is K. Ooh. Next one is P. K. Ooh. P. Next one is Qu. This is a phonogram that's not underlined because it's always with you. K. Ooh. Okay. Okay, quickly turn and say them to your neighbor. Okay. Everybody got it so far? Samohini, okay? Okay, Madam. Third row of consonants. 2 sounds for the first one. Second one. T. Next one. Next one. T. The fast one. The fast one. Yeah. It. Not E. It. I. It's like a hiccup. Yeah. It. I. Don't say yeah, E-I, because that's another sound. Yeah, it. The fast one. Yeah, it. Okay, one more time. He should be following in the book. That's why he's not paying attention. The fast one. Yeah, it, I. You see what happens once they know something, it becomes mechanical and then they're not knowing it. So he should be pointing. He should be interactive the whole time. All right? 21 consonants. Can you please tell the third row of consonants to your study buddy?
What was X?
The fast one.
Fast one. Yeah. A. I.
Okay. Everyone knows the third row? Okay, let's do the consonants all straight through. B, ks, d. Good job. He should be following on the book. He can use the pencil to point. That plastic thing, that'll be a good pointer. I'll start again. B, ks, d. Good job. J. K. And not pressing on the board. Hare Krishna? Yeah, she should not be pressing on that board. Put the board somewhere else or under the tray because those boards are, I've already ruined mine by getting too much water on the edge. It doesn't take much. You should understand that living entities are just as little children, just like the living entity and the material energy. The minute one is not under the supervision of this divine energy, immediately the material energy takes, there's no in between. It's like the computer, it's 1 or 0. 1 or 0. The minute he's not directly engaged, he will be 0. So your whole, and you will benefit too, but if you're going to try to homeschool him, that means you'll have to make sure that at every minute, because the minute he isn't, teaching and parenting are two species. And you have to, one lady who's successful at that, she tells her boy, I'm putting on a different hat. Now I'm your mother in this room, but if we go into that room, I'm not your mother, I'm your teacher.
Is that okay to do that? I mean, do children accept it? Like if
Yes, because if you don't, that's what Krishna had to do with Arjuna. At one point he's a friend, but at another point he's a disciple. And also with the universal form. At one point there's one ras, bewildered is wonder, and then another point friendship. Two relationships. They don't mix. They don't mix. So this very successful lady, Sundari in Pune, she has a room where she homeschools Gauranga. His desk, his table, material, out of the influence of any other place in the house, it's this classroom. And when they go in there, I'm not your mother, I'm your teacher. I have a different hat. Different mood, different, she's not afraid to, and he's quite used to that. Otherwise, the two mix, and then they play on the parental relationship because it's so familiar. And parents are not usually trained as teachers. I've had to be under supervision in classrooms for 40 years. That's by people who are checking me. What are you doing? What? They walk in and they say, why is that child not engaged? Your score is ticked down. And yet you watch a parent and the kid's running all over the place and nobody's saying, why is your child running all over the place? So if you can't do that, you won't be able to teach. I don't care how much you know, Spalding. You have to be serious about this. It's not sentimental. Okay, I forgot where we were. So let's go back. B, ks, d. Good job.
Good job.
J, k, the fast one.
The first one.
Yeah, I.
Yeah,
Z. Okay, and I'm not kidding you, when I was in college, in my junior year, we went into schools, one semester primary and another semester secondary. And then the second year, senior year, we actually had to teach the class. So one semester primary and then the second semester secondary. And the supervisors came unannounced. We never knew when they would walk in, and they had a checklist. So obviously, we never, have you ever noticed when I'm teaching, do I just say, I'm sorry, I have to go do something else? It was not like that. It was 24/7. And the supervisors came in, and that first point on the list, they walk in and scan the room, unannounced. You don't know if it's a Monday, if it's at 2 o'clock, which class. They look around, and the first point is, all of the students are meaningfully engaged. Did you hear that? Unannounced, which day of the week, what time of the day. All of the students are meaningfully engaged, not just coloring in a stupid book. And that was the first criterion. That's heavy. How many people who take up teaching can go under that kind of scrutiny? How many parents can take up that kind of scrutiny? Because they should. Every minute of parenting should be a classroom. Not, I'm saying reading and writing, but everything you do, how to cook, how to clean, how to deal with people. It's a lesson in life. The world is a big examination hall, Bhaktisiddhanta says. He's not exaggerating. So most people think, oh, I can be free, or the child should be free to play. Freedom means illusory energy, the grips of the illusory energy. Real freedom is under the direction of the divine energy. All right, now we're going to get into the difficult portion. The fourth column includes, and we'll just do the first portion, the 5 vowels. Of the 5, 2 have 2 sounds, and 3 have 3. What's unique here? How many have 2 sounds? 2 of the vowels have 2 sounds. 3 of the vowels have 3 sounds. That should be easy to remember. And for children, we make a comparison with some kind of an animal. The first vowel, and listen to the second sound, it will identify the letter name. Remember we said that yesterday? The letter name. A, A. What is this?
A,
Again. A, A. No, not A. As in at. A, as in ball. Okay? So when we say these, we stress the second one, so the child knows, if I'm tested, I will write the letter A, not some other 4, 5, 6 other phonograms make A. Again, A, These are critical. And often these are slurred, which she says makes for poor pronunciation, which makes for poor spelling. The teacher has to pronounce the word correctly, because the child has to hear it, does not have his own speller. If you say it incorrectly, the child will not hear it correctly. If you write it incorrectly, the child cannot write it. It all has to come from you. The second one has 2 sounds. E, E. E. Okay. A, Second one, E. Third one has 2 sounds, like a hiccup. I. Do you remember what the consonant? Yeah, I.
Yeah.
The second 2 are the same as Y. Y takes the place of I at the end of an English word. That's why Y is sometimes a vowel. Its first sound, Y, is for consonant. Okay? A, A, O,
E, O,
E, E,
E,
I, I.
I.
Really stress that so you know that's the name of this letter. This one, listen, this has 3 sounds. The second sound will identify the phonogram. A, A, O, O, U, A, O, U. The second sound was what? O. The name of the letter. A, E, O. E, E, I. A, O, U. Like ulu. Ulu, right? Like the ulu, the owl. Ulu. 3 sounds for this one. U, okay. Like as in put. Please put the book down. See? Very strange.
What's the first of you?
Like as in up. U, as in university. As in put. Strange, but you see, when you apply it to a word, yes, you don't think how different this particular vowel. That's why English is tricky for spelling. Let's do the vowels again.
O, the letter O and the letter U. The first, is it almost the same? The first.
No, for up, like as in up.
This is for up.
And for the first one, as in octopus, as in octopus.
And the A one is.
The
and
first
the
sound
letter
for A, for the letter A is
As in at.
At.
At 3 o'clock. At. It probably helps you to say a word because they're so close, you might not. Okay, let's go through the vowels because the vowels are in every syllable, or you do not have a syllable. And you don't have a word if you don't have a syllable. These are the heart. A, E, I. As in octopus, right? O, We say that, I tell them the little donkey sounds, like this is a donkey. A, and the mouse will say E, and the elephant who's had hiccups, I, and the owl will say O, and the big bear will say U. Just some little thing to get some connection there, okay? And we know the ers, but first say the vowels to each other. See how you do? Okay? Can you say your vowels to your daddy? Go ahead. A, O. As in call. Ball. Ball, I play with the ball.
and for O, doll,
O. There's a different rule on that. It's Rule 17, coming from Old English. It's very it's amazing what the children will understand.
and any word for E,
Letter F, E, B.
This is a. First one is a.
E is for letter,
Most words you'll see.
A as in a.
third sound of A.
A.
As in call, ball, all.
O. 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 Sorry. O. O. U. A. 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 O. U. O.
I don't know.
Yes, it's a bit confusing. This is
Or sound like a donkey. E is for whose sound is E?
Which one for the?
E.
That's the first one.
Animal sound.
Oh, first one I did the donkey. A, mouse for E.
That's for
It becomes
just like no animal.
U.
Mouse.
Mouse.
E.
We'll have to listen to this recording.
And the big elephant.
Because of me, my
I.